Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing, Inc.
The Trinidad and Tobago Law Association goes to court to challenge a controversial decision by the Prime Minister. Our top story in Caribbean Newsline for Friday, October 4th. From the CMC News Center in Bridgetown, I'm Dawn Paris. Good evening. The Law Association of Trinidad and Tobago, LAT, has filed a lawsuit seeking a judicial review of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley's decision not to initiate proceedings that could have resulted in the removal of Chief Justice Ivor Archie from office. In a lawsuit filed on Thursday, the LAT is seeking a series of declarations over the Prime Minister's handling of a report that recommended that he exercise his discretion under Section 137 of the Constitution to advise President Ptolemy Weeks to investigate allegations against Archie by commencing impeachment proceedings against him. The Law Association argues that Rowley's decision was illegal, irrational, unreasonable, and made in bad faith. And it's asking the court to issue an order quashing his decision and compelling him to reconsider it. The Law Association had investigated allegations that Archie had discussed security arrangements for judges with a friend and attempted to fast-track Housing Development Corporation applications for various people. Last December, 8 voted in favor of referring the allegations to the Prime Minister with the hope that he would take action under Section 137, which states that the President appoints a tribunal after allegations of misconduct against the Chief Justice or Judge are referred by the Prime Minister. Well, Rowley has said that while it was within the rights of the LAT to sue, it is the taxpayer and not him who would be footing the bill for what he described as a political charade. Guyana's opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo has warned international donors against releasing monies to the interim coalition government, saying there could be trouble when it comes time to repay those funds. Speaking at his weekly press conference on Thursday, he referred to a $2.2 million contract signed by the Ministry of Public Infrastructure for the design, supply and installation of a 150 kilowatt hydropower plant in Region 8. He says that project is being started in an unconstitutional manner since the government is not authorized to sign contracts when it is in an interim mode, which the Caribbean Court of Justice says it is, pending elections triggered by a successful no-confidence motion in December last year.
We don't have a problem with the project itself. What we have a problem with is this government abusing the process and doing it in an unconstitutional way. So for the Inter-American Development Bank and all of the others who insist on disbursing funds, or a few others who insist on disbursing funds and approving contracts now that are done in contravention of our laws, they can't claim they have not been warned. They have a court ruling, etc. It will have implications for these funds in the future, repayment of the funds, because I don't think Guyanese taxpayers must repay money that has been stolen with the complicity of some of these organizations, and particularly their local offices.
Police in Haiti have issued arrest warrants for opposition politicians and activists after an attempt was made to burn down Jomar Auto Parts, a company owned by President Juvenal Moïse, earlier this week. Government Commissioner Jean Volney-Bellarmine confirmed that 18 warrants were issued. One police officer was injured after demonstrators threw stones and shot at police officers trying to prevent them from burning the building down on Tuesday. Over in the Bahamas, a historic suite of environmental legislation has been tabled in Parliament, and the bills introduced by Environment and Housing Minister Romuald Ferreira are getting the support of environmentalists in the country. Theo Seeley of Eyewitness News reports.
The heels of mounting concern following a major oil spill in the northern Bahamas and years of incessant oil leaks at Clifton Pier, Debbie Deal, who serves as environmental chair for the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, and Bahamas National Trust Executive Director Eric Carey say the bills are a long time coming.
This is something that he has been talking about and trying to push for many, many years. So the timing, sometimes things just take longer.
Yes, I think it will have a positive impact. It certainly empowers the minister now to be able to manage the environment with legislative responsibility.
Deal anticipates that the new legislation will better regulate mega developments which potentially threaten our natural resources.
It's very detailed as to how things have to be done. And if we follow the rules in this new document, and if we can have even amounts of government and even amount of private sector, yes, I think this will be the best thing for us because
the new bills will also introduce a director of the environment with the committee to offer support. While in support of this, Re-Earth Bahamas Representative Sam Duncombe says she was hopeful that environmental groups would have been consulted before the bills were tabled.
And coming from a minister that before he was a minister was an activist and was very much in favor of transparency and public consultation, et cetera, to be in this position and to not provide the documents to the public, not just the environmental community, to the public at large, it's just hypocritical. We've not had the time to properly consult the bill, to offer our opinions and suggestions in terms of what's in the bill.
It is unclear when debate on the new bills will begin.
Still to come, reaction in St. Lucia to the sentence handed down to a former cop convicted of murdering St. Lucian Botham Jean. We'll be right back.
United Nations Program on HIV and AIDS, UNAIDS, issued what it called a stark wake-up call to countries around the world. In a new report for the Global AIDS Update for 2018, the organization raised concerns about the pace of progress in fighting HIV/AIDS.
He said, Miss Philip, to know why you're here? I said, no, I'm not a clue. And I started to read, coming down the line, I see where it says HIV positive. I said, Jesus have mercy.
We continue in St. Lucia, where there has been mixed reaction from the public to the 10-year sentence handed down to Amber Guyger, the former Dallas police officer who shot and killed St. Lucian-born Botham Jean. A sentence that set off angry chants outside the courtroom and an unexpected moment of forgiveness inside has sparked another round of intense public discussion. So did the decision of Botham's younger brother to hug Guyger after her sentencing. We get more in this Choice News report.
Guyger's 10-year sentence has drawn strong emotions from millions around the world who have remained glued to the highly publicized trial. Moments after the sentence was handed down, members of the Dallas community shared emotional reactions.
Every Geiger gets a chance to get freedom after 10 years. And my son and both them and other sons are dead forever. We did not get justice, and this is not fair. How many of us is it going to take? There should be another mother after us.
10 years is not enough. Both in John's life matter. And when there is no justice, it should never be any peace.
These sentiments were also expressed on social media sites, particularly Twitter, which erupted in a firestorm of criticism. For many, a 10-year sentence seemed like a slap on the wrist for an individual guilty of killing an innocent man in his own home. Geiger will first be eligible for parole in 5 years. Members of the local Dallas community were so incensed that many took to the streets in protest. However, one of the most talked about moments appeared as a stark contrast to the display of emotions by protesters. During the sentencing phase, the world was left stunned by an unexpected show of forgiveness from Botham Jeu's younger brother.
I'm speaking for myself, not even bad for my family. But I love you just like anyone else. And I'm not gonna say I hope you rot and die just like my brother did, but I personally want the best for you. And I wasn't gonna ever say this in front of my family or anyone, but I don't even want you to go to jail. I want the best for you. Because I know that's exactly what both of them would want you to do.
The 18-year-old subsequently made what many considered to be an unusual request.
Can I give her a hug, please? Please?
The scene drew mixed reactions, with many applauding the younger Jeu's act of kindness, while many seemed to disagree with this approach. The morning after the sentence, Jeu's mother discussed the conviction and the controversial embrace.
A murder conviction for sure is justice for me. There is a lot that has to be done by the Dallas Police Department, by the Texas Rangers, by the city of Dallas. What Brand did was to cleanse his heart towards Amber. I do not want it to be misconstrued as a complete forgiveness of everybody.
The time is drawing closer for Dominica's World Creole Music Festival, and Jamaican dancehall star Spragga Benz celebrates another milestone. Michael Williams has more in this week's Newsline Entertainment.
The countdown is on to Dominica's 21st annual World Creole Music Festival. The three-night event will be held from October 25th to 27. Among the performers will be veteran cadence singer Ophelia Marie, affectionately known at home as Dominica's Lady of Song. This year will be her 6th time gracing the stage of the World Creole Music Festival, and she told the news conference this week she is impressed with the growth over the past 2 decades.
And I'm feeling very proud that my work and the work of people like Gordon and like Midnight Groovers, and if I start to call, I don't even think I have enough fingers to come, but there were, at the time when I started, something like 19 cadence groups out there making Dominican music to the world. And it is those people who gave the opportunity and the confidence to Dominica to dare to do its own festival.
Ophelia says the festival has also helped raise awareness and acceptance of the Creole language.
Well, for me, Creole means something very special, what my mother used to call patois. And so the fact that we maintain and retain and could build on Creole is something that I think we are celebrating when we do the festival. And that for me is what I am. The Creole Festival, the Creole season is for me my second birthday.
And from Creole music to reggae, veteran Jamaican dancehall artist Spraga Benz made history on Thursday night as the first reggae dancehall star to be featured in the Spotlight series at the Grammy Museum Experience in New Jersey. The series is held 2 to 3 times each month, and it is a conversation with various artists about their history and current and future projects. Spraga's appearance came just a week after he released his latest album, the first in 9 years. Mary-Claire Williams, Newsline Entertainment.
Well, China and developing countries like those in the Caribbean have been allies for decades, a relationship which the Asian country says it not only wants to maintain but expand. That was a message delivered by Chinese officials to journalists from developing countries who were hosted by the China Public Diplomacy Association to attend celebrations to mark the 70th anniversary of the founding of the People's Republic of China that culminated with a massive military parade on Tuesday. Well, I was among that group of 39 media workers from Latin America and the Caribbean, Africa and Asia who witnessed that event, at which another message was delivered: that China's progress cannot be stopped. A show of national unity and military might on October 1st, National Day in China, when thousands of patriotic flag-waving Chinese gathered in the historic Tiananmen Square in Beijing. An address by President Xi Jinping, General Secretary of the Communist Party, set the tone for the ceremony. He said the founding of the People's Republic of China had completely changed the country's fate. And amid a bruising trade war between his country, the world's second largest economy, and world superpower United States, he declared to the masses as he stood in the spot where Mao Zedong had announced the establishment of the People's Republic of China in 1949 that there was nowhere to go from here but forward. As he put it, there is no force that can shake the foundation of this great nation. No force can stop the Chinese people and the Chinese nation forging ahead. And on its march forward, President Xi said China would continue to pursue the path of peaceful development and a win-win strategy of opening up, working with all nations to promote a common goal. After his well-received speech, President Xi reviewed the troops, and the gathering viewed a military parade that featured 15,000 troops, 160 aircraft, and 580 pieces of high-tech military equipment, including intercontinental ballistic missiles, hypersonic drones, submarine-launched ballistic missiles, unmanned underwater vehicles, and hypersonic glide vehicles on show for the first time. The display, no doubt, another message to the world that China has emerged a formidable military power. That was followed by a civilian parade that featured tributes to national icons and told a story using floats about the economic, technological, and other progress that China has made over the past 7 decades. Ahead in sport, Bahamian Stephen Gardner sets a new national record in the men's 400 meters at the World Championships. Stay with us.
You have to make sure your technology is available and operational at all times. But what happens when your network crashes, your email goes down, or your user systems get a virus? You may try to fix the issue yourself, but you can end up making the problem a lot worse. At Digital Networking Solutions, we're more than just people who try to fix your computers. We monitor, maintain, and support your IT systems so that you can focus on growing your business to its fullest potential. When you sign up for one of our IT support plans, we get familiar with your IT environments beforehand, so we can manage it proactively as if it were our own. Your business deserves the best IT services available to ensure it functions to its maximum efficiency. So give us a try today. Email or call us, and we will give you a free network assessment to determine whether now is the time for your small business to adopt Digital Networking Solutions for a smoother, more reliable network experience.
When we look at the characteristics of stones that are responsible for death in our region, we experience more fatalities related to storm surge and to major rain and flooding.
These are nobody's life, and I don't want to see the next hurricane like this.
My neighbor roof gone. Boy, Boys, boy, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Oh, you don't see what we see.
The THA has developed lands in 2 areas to accommodate Crown Point residents who are to relocate for the A&R Robinson International Airport expansion project. These lands at Sherburne Road and Cove Estate are for those who want to build homes and commercial properties respectively.
There are 12.5 acres of ultra-prime lands at Sherburne, which would be made available to those.
Now, Bahamian Stephen Gardner set a new national record after claiming gold in the finals of the men's 400 meters at the World Championships in Doha. He broke the record of 43.87 seconds he ran at last year's Diamond League, this time running in 43.48 seconds. Gardner had beaten Colombia's Anthony Zambrano, who finished in a time of 44.15 seconds for the silver, while Fred Curley of the United States was right behind in a time of 44.17 seconds to take the bronze. Jamaica's Demish Gay beat the 400-meter Olympic champ Kirani James for a 4th place finish. Gay ran a personal best of 44.46 seconds, while James crossed the finish line in 44.54 seconds. Trinidad and Tobago's Machel Cedeno took the 7th spot in 45.3 seconds, while Akeem Bloomfield of Jamaica finished 8th in a time of 48.36 seconds. In the women's 400-meter hurdles, Rochelle Clayton copped a World Championship bronze after clocking 53.74 seconds, her personal best this season. She was beaten by Americans Delilah Mohammed, who set a new record in a time of 52.16 seconds, and Sydney McLaughlin, who ran a personal best of 52.23 seconds. To cricket now, an unbeaten half-century by Shoaib Malik and 3 wickets by Imran Tahir gave Guyana Amazon Warriors their 8th straight victory as they defeated Jamaica Talawas by 79 runs on Thursday. Batting first in front of a packed Providence Stadium, the hosts managed to post a competitive 156 for 6 despite their rocky start of the innings. Fast bowler O'Shane Thomas and medium pacer Derval Green's 2-wicket haul decimated the Amazon Warriors' top order, leaving them reeling on 90 for 5 after 12 overs. But Captain Malik's knock of 73 from 45 deliveries and an 83-run partnership with Guyanese batsman Sherfane Rutherford brought back stability to the innings, and Warriors finished with a compelling total of 156. The Talawas, in their reply, were undone by the heroics of the South African leg spinner, whose wicket haul of 3 for 12 condemned them to the lowest total of 79 all-out from 16 overs. Tahir was assisted by Afghan leg spinner Kowais Ahmed and Guyanese medium pacer Kemo Paul, who picked up 2 wickets each. A strong 16-member England under-19 squad has been named for a 50-overs-a-side Tri-Nation series involving West Indies under-19s and Sri Lanka under-19s in December. The England and Wales Cricket Board said on Friday that the series in the Caribbean will be the last competitive test for the young players before the ICC Under-19 World Cup, which takes place in South Africa in January and February 2020. Nearly half the England squad managed to secure county first-team appearances during this past summer. Ben Charlesworth, Jack Haynes, Jordan Cox, Dan Mosley, Hamidullah Kadri, Joey Evison and Tom Clark all have development experiences at the next level. Many of the 16 players selected also featured in this summer's tri-series against India and Bangladesh, including Captain George Balderson and Vice-Captain George Hill. Scott Curry and Sam Young came into the squad, having showed their potential this summer in second-team cricket for Hampshire and Somerset respectively, and together for Dorset in the National Counties competition. Wicketkeeper Harry Duke from Yorkshire is also new to the squad and was selected off the back of impressive performances with the gloves at the ECB Young Lions Super 4 competition, as well as for the Yorkshire Academy and Second 11. Switching sports now, Trinidad and Tobago's senior women's football team handed their Antiguan counterparts a 5-0 drubbing as action in the Olympic qualifiers continued. TV6's Vinod Narwani tells us more.
Trinidad and Tobago completed another commanding performance on Wednesday evening in the CONCACAF Women's Olympic qualifying tournament at the Attobolden Stadium. A moment of silence first for the passing of the father of assistant coach Desiree Sargent. Their opponents Antigua and Barbuda were under pressure from the early exchanges. Karen Forbes struck the crossbar, making an impact in this match. 13th minute of play and the hosts were in the lead when Nia Walcott sealed a short corner with a diving header, 1-0. They had an opportunity to double the advantage when Aliyah Prince was brought down in the area. Forbes sealed it to carry TNT to the half with a 2-0 advantage. The skipper got his second in the 74th, being at the right spot at the right time to score a rebound of a Kayla McFarlane shot. Prince was next on the score sheet 8 minutes later to make it 4. Walcott then sealed it just before regulation to give TNT a 5-0 final result over Antigua and Barbuda. The earlier game saw the Dominican Republic getting the better of Aruba 2-0. Action in the qualifiers continues on Friday, with TNT playing St. Kitts Nevis on Sunday.
Finally, in horse racing, Jamaican-born Kurga Johnson grabbed the headlines with a pair of wins to lead Caribbean jockeys plying their trade at the Fort Erie racetrack. The long-standing arrangement captured the first 2 races of the 9-race card, earning $25,400 Canadian dollars. Johnson, a former champion jockey at the track, opened his account with a 1-length victory aboard the 11-4-bet Speedy Connor in the first race over 1,000 meters on the dirt track. He followed up with a half-length win astride the 3-1 chance Hold On, We're Going Home in the second race, going 1,300 meters on the dirt. And that's the sport. We'll be right back.
Caribbean Newsline is brought to you by the Barbados Tourism Marketing Inc.
Hi, I'm Brittany Dixon, and you're watching Finding Fit, the show where I pair up one client with 2 trainers. Trainer number 1.
Oh my gosh.
It's about fitness, comedy.
You know, I can do this all day, you know.
Drama.
In future, we cannot be late.
Inspirational stories, and so much more. You are gonna love it. You can catch Finding Fit prime time this fall on CaribVision.
It means a lot. I mean, Black music is the foundation of all music. Hello. And then to be performing for the first time, I'm performing Vacation, my single, on this platform. So it means a lot to me. It's like R&B meets EDM meets compa, which is Haitian music. And
the show airs on the CaribVision network. So
oh, really? Oh, look at God. Look at God.
So 30 million households.
Oh, perfect. So all my little Haitian sisters.
Again, the major developments of this day: Trinidad and Tobago's Law Association goes to court to challenge the Prime Minister's decision not to initiate proceedings that could have resulted in the removal of Chief Justice Ivor Archie from office. And in sports, Bahamian Stephen Gardner sets a new national record in the men's 400 meters at the World Championships in Doha. And that's Caribbean Newsline. For news and sport around the clock, subscribe to CaribVision.com, and for more of our programming, log on to CaribVision.tv and check out our YouTube channel. We'll be back here on Monday, but from all of us at CMC News, thank you for watching and have yourselves a good night and a safe weekend.